Random thoughts. In this video, I'm going to talk about the British plans to domesticate zebras and African elephants and also ostriches. And I found this to be very interesting. And he brings up this when he's discussing about, of course, the potential of the land to be used to rear animals. And he talks about bringing in horses, and he says that there were challenges with horses, at least initially, especially when they had to go through the land to reach Nairobi, and of course around Nairobi where there was no sesefly, which caused, of course, diseases to the animals. But then there are also considerations to domesticate the zebras and the elephants to be useful when it came to providing, of course, some form of labor, we can say. Now, this is a book that was published in 1905. It is written by one Sir Charles Elliott. Now, Sir Charles Elliott was what was known as the Commissioner of British East Africa. This was like the highest office in the East Africa Protectorate, the land that later on became the Kenyan colony, and then it became the Republic of Kenya after 1963. Now, Sir Charles Elliott resigned from this office in 1904 for some reasons, but then, of course, he published this book. Now, this book is very detailed, it's very comprehensive. It's a book that goes into a lot of details about the land and the people, the geography, the potential. He talks about, I think, almost everything about the land. And of course, it then talks about the potential to keep animals. And that's where it brings up the issue of domesticating zebras and elephants and ostriches. And I think for the ostriches, it did work to some extent. I think even very recently, there have been ostrich farms around. I think there are not so many, but I think they are there. As far as zebras, I have not seen a domesticated zebra, and I have not seen a domesticated African elephant. Of course, there are domesticated elephants elsewhere, in Asia especially, but not in Africa. Now, I'm going to read that part where he talks about that consideration of domesticating zebras. This is what he says. It has been proposed to utilize some of the indigenous animals, such as the elephant, zebra, and ostrich. I shall speak of these animals in the chapter on game. Though the zebra can be domesticated and used either for riding or driving, it will appear that we have not yet succeeded in obtaining a serviceable animal suitable for everyday work, either from the purebred zebra or from any hybrid. The African elephant is also probably capable of domestication, but the market is so small that the experiment will not be commercially successful. For ostrich farming, on the other hand, the prospects are good. The birds are abundant, and according to South Africans who have examined them, grow feathers of the right quality. The districts where they are most numerous are Athi Plains and in the Rift Valley. So they are all consideration to domesticate these animals. They had never been domesticated anyway, of course, they are, apart from the elephant, which is domesticated in Asia. But as far as the zebra, it's not happened anywhere. And of course, seems like, or it's clear that did not happen here. They eventually did not manage to domesticate. And when I was reading this part, something that I've been seeing online came to my mind, where people say, oh, you can domesticate a donkey, but you can't domesticate a zebra. If you know, you know. Those are my random thoughts.